welcome to our WW Walk to Wellness. Now, the wind has just picked up where I am, but that's not stopping us. We are in this together, guys. So, thank you to everybody that has joined us today. Now, I'm lucky enough to be joined by our 360 digital WW coach, Nat. Nat, how are you?
Hi, I'm very, very good. How are you, Josie?
Good, good. I'm looking forward to speaking to you.
Me
And
too.
we're Oh, good. We're also joined for our community manager, Pip. Pip, are you there? How are you?
Hi guys, yeah, I'm here as well.
Brilliant.
Hey guys.
Um, Pip is going to have any questions for you. So if you've got any questions to feed through at the end of the walk, Pip will be picking those up for us. Thank you very much, Pip. Now, if you cannot get out for a walk, there is nothing wrong with walking on the spot, walking around the house, walking around the garden, as long as we're moving and we are doing this together. That's the main important thing. There is some house rules, so do not travel outside your local area for obvious reasons. Two, really keep visual of where you're going. We don't want anybody walking into any lampposts or other walkers. So if you can, find an area that's got a lot of space, that's not as busy. Well, I had to write these house rules down. Again, if you have any questions, feed them back to Pip. And these walks are live. So if there's any interruptions, then that's not our fault. So you might expect some signaling issues, but yes, they are live. So I'm joined by our lovely Nat. Nat, what have you been
Hi.
up to?
Well, I'm walking through the garden. It is not all mine, I guarantee you that. It's a communal garden that we have of our place here in London. So I'm very happy to be outside. It's been a good start to the day, early start actually. How about you?
It's all right. Actually, well, I tell you what, it was hideous to begin with, and now I've come out. It is really sunny, but it's got that wind chill that I hate. That
Yes.
thank God we've got this, because otherwise I'm normally one of these people go, oh, a little bit of rain or a little bit of wind chill. I'm not going to get out. But I've stolen my 2-year-old's gloves, and I'm out here
Gorgeous.
with you guys doing our walk to wellness, which actually is brilliant for getting me out of the house. So, Nat, you are one of our digital 360 coaches. How did it come for you to become I'll start that again. You're one of our coaches. How did you come to become one of our 360 digital coaches?
Well, I will tell you. So I haven't always been in wellness. So I've been a digital 360 coach with WW since November. We obviously recently just launched, along with 2 other fantastic coaches. Kath, who you obviously met the other day, who I absolutely adore. She has a heart of gold, doesn't she? And we have Josh, who is a really inspirational guy, amazing PT, really into mindfulness and meditation. He's got a lot to share. So there's the 3 of us. We've been doing it since about November, and I'm kind of happy to say that 2020 was, despite obviously the obvious negative side of it, on a very personal level, it was a good year for me. Joining WW and having this amazing opportunity come my way. Like I was saying, I haven't always been, yeah.
What's your wellness background then, Nat?
So that's what I was going to say. I haven't always been in wellness. In fact, my career's mostly been in food and hospitality. My first job in London was basically working in the luxury sector, helping people get into very fancy restaurants. So I've always been involved in restaurants and hospitality and food and that sort of industry. I actually, a few years after doing that job, I set up a company with an ex-colleague, which was recruitment for the hospitality industry, but it was a very tech-heavy job, and I don't really think I was cut out for it. So it kind of launching something and doing something that was kind of not really in tune with who I was caused me quite a lot of stress, actually. So I stepped down from that role and I took some time to figure out what I wanted to do. And at the time, my fiance at the time had really gotten me into spinning. stationary bike rhythm riding. I don't know if you enjoy it, if you
I love spinning. I love.
Okay, great.
Yeah, one of my favorite.
Yeah, me too. I always actually, before he got me into it, I had always told myself that I hated spinning. And then I just ended up going with him, and I got to the point I was like actually really good at it, and I was obsessed with it. So when I stepped down from the company I had started, I had this kind of more time to really invest in my health and my happiness. And I got so into spinning, and one day I saw on their Instagram account, the studio I went to in London, that they were auditioning for this academy training program to for a new set of instructors, and it kind of like lit a little flame inside of me, and I was like, I need to do this, and so it kind of all started with that. I applied to be an instructor, and I went through the whole training program, which was like physically and mentally exhausting and challenging, but really incredible. And then, yeah, so I became a spin instructor, which I absolutely love. And then when lockdown started, yeah, and then when lockdown started in 2020, the studios closed. So I kind of went back to my first love, which was food. And so now, you know, I was sharing lots of recipes on Instagram and whatnot, and I've kind of married the food and the fitness and WW and wellness, and it's all, I feel really happy. You know, I never understood I never really understood the phrase.
Hello, Nat. Oh no, oh no, Nat. Nat, I think you've gone there, love. Anyway, I do not know how a spin instructor, they have managed to do a class as well as spin. It's like I've never got my head around that. I've not. Oh, I think Nat's back. Hello, are you there, Nat? Nat?
I'm back.
She's back, everybody. Give a big round of applause. She's back. She's back.
You won't believe,
Nat, how do you?
I think I don't usually use AirPods, and I think I just clicked them and bumped myself out. So sorry. I'm back.
It's easily done. They're quite you only got to, oh, I better not do it now, but you only got to brush past them, and
They're so
still,
sensitive.
But Nat, you know you're doing your
Yes.
spinning classes. Very sensitive. You know you're doing your spinning classes. How do you? I've always wondered this. As a spin instructor, how do you do a class and breathe and ride the bike at the same time? Because I know what I'd be like. I'd just be like, oh, that's.
Well, Josie, it's really challenging. Yeah. But with practice, I mean, it changes and it's possible, right? So like anything in life, things can start off feeling difficult, and the more you do and the better you get, it becomes second nature. So I really struggled with it in the beginning, but now, you know, I feel good with it, and it is a bit of a skill to control your breathing and your talking and your heart rate, but it's possible.
It's just practice, is it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Is it hard at the beginning?
Very hard. Oh my gosh. It's also emotionally hard because, I mean, you're really putting yourself out there in front of, you know, sometimes there can be 60 people in the room. And so it's quite a performance. And so for me, it was like, it was so different to anything I'd done before. And it was such a satisfying challenge, though, you know, when you set yourself something to do that really scares you, and you accomplish it, it's a fantastic feeling, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, that's one of my things this year is to set myself challenges that are, you know, out of the ordinary. They're not. So I want to get into like ice water swimming because I think that Hoffman's amazing.
I saw on your Instagram.
Yeah, I think it's every year I like to take myself out my boundaries. I think it just well, it makes the year interesting anyway, doesn't it? So
absolutely.
How have you and your husband been keeping busy this year?
So I'd say that this most recent lockdown for both of us has probably been the busiest. So I've been quite focused on work, but you know, we like to take nice long walks. I'd say, you know, we try aim to get out together at least once a week to do like a proper 4 or 5 hour walk around London, which we absolutely love.
4 or 5 hours?
Honestly, we'll set out. Look, it's been a lot busier lately, so we haven't done it as much. but I love, it's so funny how, you know, sometimes you can tell yourself things that you don't like to do. Like I always used to say, I don't really like walking for long periods of time that much. And just recently we kind of, you know, you put on some comfy shoes, you set out and you just go for hours. And it's amazing because you see incredible things. You obviously feel good. It's great to be in the fresh air. It's great to talk and connect and communicate. So I'd say that's like our sort of lockdown activity. Otherwise, yeah, we're working a lot, but you know, we both do what we love, right? So it doesn't really feel like work, which is a dream come true. So, yeah.
Well, where are you walking today? Show me where you're walking today.
I will. So, we live on a communal garden, and we have access to all of this greenery, which is really beautiful.
How lucky are you?
So we have, that's our apartment across there, and then it's so beautiful. And sometimes there are bunnies that just roam freely, so hopefully maybe we can see some, but there's beautiful gardens, and yeah.
Right.
I love it. Where are you?
Let me show you where I'm walking, because there's a bit of a story here, right? So I'm walking down at Stoke Park in Bristol. It's not too far from my house. The good thing about this place is we call it like the 8-hill challenge, because you've got hills all up, and you go over one hill, over one hill, over one hill. But this place behind me, as you're driving into Bristol, you'll see this place here, and it's flats now, but it used to be a mental asylum. Yeah, and my cousin, I know, and my cousin knows people that have that worked in there and changed it into flats. I feel bad for anybody living there. And some of the workmen walked off the job because it was too spooky, and there was weird things happening and stuff. So they
oh my
said
gosh.
it's definitely haunted. So they walked off the job, and then there's woods just here, and I was walking through these woods once with my little sister, and she went, "Oh, something really weird's just come over me," and I went, "Oh, are you all right?" And she said, "Yeah." And then we took a few more steps, looked to our left, and there was 2 graves on top of each other. We were like, "Oh!" And then we went,
"Oh my god!"
Out the woods. Yeah, running out the woods. But I do love this walk because it's quite challenging because of the hills, and the scenery is absolutely unbelievable.
It reminds me a little bit of Primrose Hill in London. Just it's kind of got those like winding paths. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it is a lovely place to walk. So on my last walk, I was talking to our lovely Kath, who we both love.
Yes.
We were talking about anxiety. Have you struggled with any sort of anxiety through this lockdown?
You know what? I'd say the first lockdown more so. And it was very up and down for me. And you know, my family, I'm originally from South Africa, but my family live in Australia now, and I haven't seen them since my husband and I got married in July 2019. And I usually see them all the time. Even though we're far away, we make an effort to travel. So for me, there was this, especially for the first lockdown, even though even more time has lapsed since then, I had a lot of anxiety about when am I going to see them next, and it was very upsetting and stressful. But you've just, you know, you learn to do other things, to take your mind off it and just stay present. So I have less anxiety this time around. I feel a bit more focused and a bit more in control of my emotions and my thoughts. So it's getting better.
It's getting better, yeah. I've been the same. The first one, the anxiety was through the roof. But this one, I don't know what with these walk to wellness and joining WW, I feel so much better. I feel like I'm part of something, and I don't feel so alone. So for you, how important do you think it is staying connected, especially through these lockdowns?
I think it's imperative, and I know forming some sort of community, an online community, or anything that you can do to stay connected to people counts. And I know that we're probably so sick and tired of seeing people through the screen, but
Oh yeah.
it's still important to make time to do it, and sometimes I don't necessarily want to sit and like do a Zoom or look at my friends. Sometimes I just want to pick up the phone and old fashioned way, give them a call, make a cup of tea, put my feet up and just enjoy speaking to someone. But I think it really is important because it can be a very isolating, it's an isolating thing that we're going through, even if you are, in a relationship or if you're alone, it can still be difficult. So I think making that time, making a concerted effort to communicate with people and try get involved in online communities is really important.
What tips would you give to anybody that are actually living on their own?
Good one. I would say I think it's important to plan your time effectively. Take a look at your day and see where you can slot things in to make time for yourself. Because I know with people working from home as well, we're kind of working more than ever because we're just glued to our laptops, aren't we? So, starting your day and knowing that, okay, at midday, I'm going to take myself for a walk around the block, and maybe at 1:30, I am going to go do some shopping, and maybe at 5 o'clock, I'm going to give my mom a call, whatever it might be, but put it in your diary, so that you have something, no matter how small it is, something to look forward to, something to just know that you have a commitment that day. I think that's really important, and making time to check in with yourself on an emotional level, but also making
Yeah.
time to move your body. Honestly, like I had COVID in November, and I really struggled to get back to fitness afterwards. But I'm kind of really back in the game now. And I mean, I'm sure you'll agree with me, Josie, walking or any sort of movement just makes you feel so good, doesn't
Yeah.
it? So I think
Yeah.
it just, for me, even though I don't live alone, so, going back to your question, it calms me down so much. And it's just it's a positive effect on your mental, state of mind and everything. So I think movement is important, mindfulness and planning, scheduling things in, no matter how menial it might seem.
Yeah, I've been doing that. I've been scheduling timings in and writing myself to-do lists. And the
Yeah.
first lockdown, I was completely alone, mainly because I was too scared to see anybody. Well, we couldn't anyway. But I didn't even see my son's dad because he's in a high risk category, and I think it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. We are all connected. We are meant to be together. I'll be honest, I know that we're all doing this in a virtual world now, but I'll do anything to be doing this walk all together.
Yeah.
I realized how important connection was, and how much I miss that connection.
Yeah.
What I find the hardest is a lot of my friends, we all obviously live in the same postcode, and I see them out, and I go up to him, go running up to him, and I think, oh no, because obviously you can't cuddle, and that
I know.
connection, oh, to have that cut off is the hardest thing in the world, especially when you see your family members. Like, I see my sister down the park the other day. I didn't even know
Yeah.
she was going to be there, and I couldn't even go and give her a hug. And to snip that connection, I think is probably the worst thing you can do to somebody, because you
Yeah.
realize how much we all rely on each other. We're meant to be in tribes, aren't we? We are pack. I think I realize now that we're definitely pack animals. And yeah, keeping us apart, I think that's probably the worst thing you
Yeah.
can do to a
No, I
human. I know
agree.
we've got to, but you just really do not realize how important that our connections are. And it is not the same in a virtual world, but it's the best we've got to do at the moment, isn't it? Is the
Exactly. And
yeah.
we are, in terms of being grateful for what we do have, you also have to think the situation could be so much worse, right? Just think about internet, which is something that we take for granted on a daily basis. But we actually, despite, yes, it's not exactly how we want to be connecting, but it's amazing that we have so many effective ways of doing it thanks to technology, like the fact that
Yeah.
we can, see each other's faces and, talk effortlessly through the phone. I mean, it is something to be grateful for, and it's something you know, to make time for, because you're right, we are like tribes, and we thrive on that connectedness. So
I tell you what, when this blows over, I shall, and I think it will. I'm pretty hopeful that it will. When this blows over, I'm going to be giving those hugs out for free. I've realised I'm definitely a hugger. Like, I didn't realise what a people person I was. Like, I love people. They are the variety of life, aren't they? I love everybody's stories.
absolutely.
I love I especially love a weirdo. I attract well, it's because I'm a bit of a weirdo myself. But I love they're the spice of life. I love listening to people's stories, bit of different people's humours, and when you're doing it online, it's not the same. But thank God we have got online, because oh my God, where would we be now? We would be totally isolated, wouldn't we?
100%.
Scary to even think about.
I know. Let's not even think about it.
So somebody tells me you're a bit of a recipe queen.
Yes, I love to cook. It is my ultimate passion in life. So I've been cooking a lot.
And what are your favourite things you like to cook?
Oh, I love Middle Eastern and Mediterranean style food. I've been cooking with fish more than ever.
Right.
I don't know why. I found a really great fishmonger in the first lockdown, and when you have a good piece of fish, there's kind of no turning back. And I just made an effort to like perfect getting salmon skin nice and crispy, and learning how to do sea bass really well. And so I'm loving fish, and I love lots of I'm jam-packed flavor, but from like herbs and spices and things like that. Oh yes, and I heard on your previous walk that you grow your own herbs, which I find very impressive.
Oh, thank you. I grew my own tomatoes in the summer as well. They were absolutely gorgeous.
What kind?
They were called money makers.
The money makers. Did they make you any money?
Well, I don't know. Not really, no. Not that much, no. Nat, you are like a woman of many talents, aren't you? You've got some real good tips for anxiety. So can you talk me through your breathing technique?
Yes, absolutely. So, when we were talking about anxiety before, and kind of how to plan your time if you if you're kind of going through lockdown alone, and even if you're not going through it alone, I think breathing is really important. Breathing and mindfulness, and just giving yourself the space and time to kind of let your thoughts stop racing. So I have this, I didn't invent it, but it is called the box breathing technique, which I find really, really helpful to calm myself down when I feel like things are out of control, right? So what you do is kind of from breathing from your belly more than your chest, I'd say. You breathe out for like 4 slow counts, and then you hold it for 4 slow counts, and then you breathe in for 4 slow counts, you hold it for 4 slow counts, and breathe out again. And you repeat that as many times as you like. And it's the most amazing feeling. You almost get this like, you can feel your thoughts calming down. Sometimes if I'm struggling to fall asleep, I'll do that, and I'll be asleep within like minutes. So I find that really helpful. 4 out, 4 hold, 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out, repeat.
And that's box breathing. Do you know what? I've heard about that because I went to stay in this place in Thailand called the Sanctuary. It's like a spiritual retreat.
Yes.
And there was this guy there, and he was about 70. I'm not joking. He looked about 40. He looked insane because he did all breathing techniques, and he got lots of oxygen into his skin. So it's really good for aging when you're doing all the breathing techniques.
Well, imagine Wim Hof and breathing. Then you're really set, aren't you?
Oh, I'm going to look about 18. Nat, I've so enjoyed talking to you. Thank you so much for today.
Thank you.
I just want to go to Pip now. Pip, have you got any questions for me and Nat there?
Hi guys, yeah, we do. Everybody, we've got lots of people joining the walk today, and everyone is super interested in your all your food experience, Nat. Harriet has asked, what are your go-to snacks before and after your spin classes?
Oh, Very good question. I love, before I spin, I love to take a date and put a little bit of almond butter on it. I love that.
Oh,
Wow,
And
that
it
sounds
keeps
delicious.
you, gives you a nice, sort of sustained energy. I'd say a post spin snack. I love a good smoothie, but I don't really make them so much for myself. But I would say I'm a big fan of Greek yogurt with cinnamon and some berries. That always hits the spot. So nothing crazy, nothing too complicated, just simple things. But yeah, I'd say those are probably my go-tos.
Sounds delicious.
Mm.
Josie, one for you. Tony Miller is asking, how do you balance everything at home with your little boy and ensuring you get time for yourself to reset and focus?
well, that's a good question because it is a complete juggling act. But organised, you've got to stay organised through everything. So I need to organise myself at least like a week before and make sure everything is all in order, because otherwise you don't get any time for anything. But I'm still working on that. That's a work in progress. I'm still trying to get Reggie in his own room, but I think that's me more than anything. So yeah, it's all a work in progress, but as long as you're not stressing about it and enjoying the moment that you're in, I think that's the main thing.
Oh, great. So one for both of you here from Faye. Have you been forced to make any changes over the last 12 months that you're going to continue once your life gets back to normal?
Have I been? You go first, Nat. I can't think.
Yeah, I actually can think of one that's come to mind. It probably didn't start, 12 months ago, but I'd say in recent months I've been really, really busy. So I've been waking up super early every day to kind of get things done, even like as early as I can. And I'm absolutely loving it. Like starting my day at 6 a.m. The amount you can achieve in a day is amazing. So that is something I am going to hold on to. So early to bed, early to rise. I'm going to keep that up.
Yeah, I think this lockdown has made me realise that it's stop waiting for something good to happen. Like like I keep saying, just try and enjoy the moment that you're in, and it's like we're always waiting for something good to happen. By the time you've looked round, you've just been waiting all your life. Just enjoy the moment.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a great technique, being happy where you are now.
Yeah, and all
Um,
those other things are a bonus.
exactly. Nat, what is your go-to comfort food? That is from Gareth.
Oh, I'd have to say pasta. A good bowl of pasta with I like anchovy and chili and fennel pasta. That is my absolute dream comfort meal.
Wow, that sounds
And so
delicious.
nice.
I think I'd agree with you there. Pasta's a good one. And probably one more for you both, but from Harriet, saying that she is normally a fairly positive person, but even in this third lockdown, she's struggling. So can you share any tips on how to stay positive during the day and keep going?
Well, we all get those days. You're not alone. I think we're going through something that is so scary, and I think everybody's just so scared, anxious, and yeah, she is not alone there. But again, I build myself to-do lists. I grow things. I keep myself. I've pampered so much. I've given myself so many facials, and again, I'm getting out on these walks, exercising, and I stay off the news. I stay off the bad news. It's not worth it. So yeah, that's how I stay positive. Yeah.
Nice one. I would say I think sometimes when we're feeling negative or that sort of lack of positivity, it's because often we're in a state of mind that is a less than or what's lacking state of mind. And I find that if you start your day focusing on three things to be grateful for, three good things that have happened to you, it doesn't matter how small. The fact that you woke up, the fact that that you have fingers to snooze your alarm, the fact that you can make a coffee and taste it, whatever it
Yeah.
might be. I think just focusing on all that you do have, of which there is so much, is that keeps me sane, that keeps me happy, because even when things are really bad, there is so much to be thankful for, always.
Brilliant. Oh, that is so lovely, Nat. I really, really enjoyed those words. I feel uplifted. I just want to
Me
thank
too.
everybody. Yeah, I want to thank you, Nat. You've been amazing. Thank you, Pip, and thank you for everybody that has tuned in. We're doing this every week. Join us next week for Walk to Wellness with WW. I'm sending you lots of love, lots of compassion. Go and enjoy your day and have a good one. Bye, guys.
Bye, Josie. Thank you so much.
Bye.